to At Home with the Frasers. So I am doing something a little different and I am really excited about it. I hope that you guys really enjoy it and that this will be something that will be beneficial to lots of people. So if you saw one of my last videos, I was talking about how I really want to do the things that God is telling me to do. I am a Christian and I'm a Christian mom, wife, daughter, all of that. For me, it's really important that God come first in everything that I do in life and in every relationship that I have in life. And for a while in my life, that wasn't the case in every aspect of my life. And I had believed in God and believed that Jesus is the way, the truth, the life, the 3-in-1 for a long time, since I was very young. And I've not always followed what I believed. And at the end of last year, well, really before then, God had been calling out to me for a really long time, but I know for at least a solid year, so like all last year and then even some into 2022, where he had been calling out to me and I was like, nope. And so many things happened at the end of last year where I was like, okay, God, at the start of 2024, I'm going to start doing what you're saying. And then all kinds of things broke loose. And I said, okay, God, here I am. And so at the beginning of this year, I just really have developed a whole nother level of relationship with God. And I am so thankful for that. I am so thankful for him loving me, him never leaving, him always being by my side, and just giving me so much joy and peace and just being so incredible because, if you don't know God, I definitely say you should get to know him because he's really awesome. But in getting to know him, you learn so much about him and his character and how he's truly unchanging and how he really loves us and he's always with us. And so he showed me a lot just in the last year, and he showed me a lot long before then, but even more so on a deeper level since then. And so one of the things that I believe that he's been calling me to do is to change up some of the aspects of the things that he had called me to that I was not doing consistently, but even more so to change up how I was doing them. And so one of my things was to invite people to learn more about him and to talk about adding God into every aspect of your life. And so some of the main aspects of my life as being a Christian woman is being a wife and being a mom and being a homeschool mom. And if you followed along on my channel to any length, you see that, we have 3 beautiful children. We have 5 total. Our 2 oldest live with their moms, but we have 3 beautiful children that we have together, and we love them dearly. Our other son, our baby boy, passed a couple of years ago now, and he's in heaven, and we'll see him again one day. And so we have our 3 children that we have here with us. And so the crux of what I do is being a wife, being a stay-at-home mom, and being a homeschool mom. And I really had not been adding God into every aspect of my life. And so that's something that I definitely do now, and I'm not perfect at it. I'm working to do it more and more. But I really want to invite other moms, soon-to-be moms, women who want to be moms, wives, women who want to be wives, who maybe are interested in homeschooling, if you're a single parent, whatever your situation is as a woman, I want to invite you to a space where we get to learn and grow together, and I get to share the things that God shares with me. We get to share our experiences together and just learn and grow more with God. So that's what I'm doing. So I am starting a new series, and for now at least, the one that I would like to have, my goal is to have it on Fridays, every Friday, and it's going to be Pancakes and Chit-Chat with Tegan. So you probably didn't even know my name because my page is called At Home with the Frasers, but I'm Tegan. Hi, nice to meet you. And it's going to be called Pancakes and Chit-Chat with Tegan. So I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Pancakes because I do, which you will see in a moment, I do bake a lot. Not just pancakes, but I bake a lot for our family. I do a lot of cooking, but I bake often because I try to steer away from a lot of the store-bought things that have so many other additives to it. I would love to be able to make my own flour one day, but for now I'm very thankful that I'm able to do this. So basically the goal is that every Friday we will, bake together, or you can learn a recipe or share a recipe, and we will chit-chat along the way. And I would love it if you guys are watching the video along, that you leave topics that maybe you're interested in or want to talk about or have questions about, or something that you just want to share that would be beneficial to others. Of course, it's all God-centered and centered around bettering our relationship with God in every walk of our lives. So welcome to the very first Pancakes and Chit-Chat with Tegan. So as you can see here, I'm just going to get into some of the ingredients. So I like to do what I like to call is make-ahead mixes. So as a mom of 3, well, if you're a mom period, you know that you are busy. Whether you have 1 or whether you have 15, I'm sure the level of that intensifies the more that you have. But regardless, as a mom, our lives are always going to be busy. So whether that you are a stay-at-home mom, you're a working mom, you're an entrepreneur mom, whatever that looks like for you, your life is busy as a mom, and you have a lot of requirements on you, some self-imposed, some that are just there because we want to be good mothers to our children. We want to be good examples for them. We want to raise them to be wonderful, productive people in society who are lights into the world as God calls us to be. And so that is a goal of mine as well. And a part of that is I really wanted to provide my family, my husband and my children, with nutritious meals that they can enjoy, nutritious treats, as I like to call them. So I like to make ahead mixes to kind of help with that process. Not all the time do I get to do it, but that is a goal for me to make more of them. So I'm going to share one of my favorites with me, which is my make ahead pancake mix. So you'll see here I have a mason jar. Hopefully y'all can see this mason jar. So I have a mason jar. I want to say it is maybe 32 ounces, 24, 32 ounces. And I like to store my make ahead mixes in my mason jars. If you have an airtight container like this, which is where I have my sugar, you can use something like this. But something that you could seal that would be airtight. So I like to use something like this and go ahead and combine my ingredients, put it in there, put a label on there. I use my Dymo label sticker. This sticker has been on there for forever, and I like to reuse it. Now I do have the actual instructions to make the mix on an index card that I keep in this little clip holder. My goal is to laminate it one day, but I've not done that as of yet. So I like to make my make ahead mixes and put them in a jar and then just close them up and put them in the pantry. Now I do make sure I clean out my jars and make sure that they're dry before I put anything in there. And then I also like to take a little bit of vinegar and just clean off the tops just to make sure that it's nice and clean. So you'll see some of the, you'll see all of the ingredients rather that we will use to make the dry mix, as well as to make the mix to actually make the pancakes. So the dry mix, you take it and you can store it on the shelf for months. And then, now you have to be careful because you are using baking soda and baking powder. So you know what you use those, so those can start to lose their ability to work their best. I can't think of the word right now. But you will start to lose some of that over the course of time. So you don't want to keep it too long. But you still want the pancake to be able to fluff up nice. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're just going to be chit-chatting along the way. So here are the ingredients that you'll need to make your dry pancake mix, and then of course you do see some of the wet ingredients here as well. So right here we have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and then we have a teaspoon of salt. And then here we have 3 tablespoons of baking powder. And then 6 cups of flour. And then here I have my 1/4 cup of sugar. And when we get ready to mix everything together, you'll take 1 cup mix of everything that's prepared. And then you'll add in 1 cup milk and 1 egg. If you're just doing like just a few pancakes. I am going to use 3 cups of the prepared mix once I have it all together with 3 eggs and 3 cups milk. So I do have that all divided out, and we're going to go ahead and get going and start chit-chatting. So first, I don't have this on yet. This is my grill. I do have it plugged in, but it's not on because otherwise that would burn my hands. I am going to use, let's see, one of these bowls. I'm not sure which one. Hold on. Use this bowl. And I have this measuring cup, which can measure up to 8 cups. So I have 6 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Y'all, it's so funny. Usually whenever I'm baking, I usually have on black. And it's so funny to me because I'm always like, I end up messing up my clothes. So I had to very purposefully think about it because I was gonna put on black. I had to purposefully think about, don't put on black so you don't have like white flour all over. But yeah, so that's just a me thing. Okay, so then you're gonna go ahead and get your baking soda, which I gave you guys the measurements. Put that on in. You've got your baking powder. Put that on in. You've got salt. Add that. You've got your sugar. Now you can use like a sugar substitute. It does not have to be sugar. I do have a goal to kind of steer away from white sugar. I've not made it there quite yet, but that is a part of my goal. And what you'll notice in my kitchen, at least for now, is that I do not have an electric mixer. I have like a handheld one, but I don't have like one of those KitchenAid mixers or anything like that. So pretty much everything I mix is gonna be by hand. I'm gonna get that mixed and you're gonna see a little baby, so I'm gonna pause for a second. Hold on. Okay, let's take a banana. There's somebody that wants some food. Hi. All right. Enjoy your banana. Love you. Enjoy your pancake. Your banana. Okay, so we're gonna mix that together. You do want to make sure that it like spreads evenly. So sometimes I will like pour some as I'm going and mix, especially since I'm doing it by hand. So you do have to make sure that it's mixed together really well. But you see, so I'm gonna keep mixing. So one of the things that I noticed when I knew that God had been calling out to me is that I felt very strongly in my spirit that I needed to get things in order. Like my life felt so out of order. My life felt so chaotic. I was really filled with a lot of anxiety. And that is something that I had battled for a long time, was feeling anxiety, like feeling like things were just so out of control. And this was long before I had gotten married, long before I had kids. That is something that I used to really battle, was just feeling like so much anxiety, like feeling like I've got to get all this done, and either not doing it or doing too much where I was exhausting myself, and it was just so many different thoughts. And if you've ever seen, and I recently saw it, if you've ever seen this movie, it's called Inside Out 2, and anxiety is introduced to the young girl, the main girl of the movie, Riley, the little girl. And when she comes in, like she, anxiety, when anxiety came in, it really kind of changed up who it was that she was supposed to be. And it was really flooding her and controlling every aspect of her life to where she wasn't thinking rationally. And it was just so much, to the point where it broke her down to doing nothing and just not being who she was supposed to be. And so over the course of years, I would kind of just tuck things away almost. It was like survivor mode. If you know that song, it's an older song from Destiny's Child. It's called Survivor. Like, I'm a survivor. And I used to love that song. And I felt though like, but is that all I am? Am I just a survivor? You know, am I just a survivor of all of the things? Or is it possible to really just have victory? Can I have victory? And so, you know, I went on, and when God started calling out to me, it was really and it was a call that I'm not gonna lie, I felt fear. And we know that God does not give you a spirit of fear, but a sound mind and, you know, courage. And so I knew that the fear that I felt wasn't of God, but I also knew that I felt it. And I was like, the fear of having to really overcome all of the different things that I knew was causing the anxiety and causing the depression that I had been dealing with for so long. And my husband, for quite some time, was like, you know, you need to work through these things because they're really like stopping your life. They're stopping what you're supposed to do. They're attacking like everything it is that you're trying to do, and you don't see it. And the thing is that I could see it to a degree. I didn't understand the totality of it for sure, but I could definitely see aspects of it. And I really wanted to try to find a way to break free of that and get order in my life and to help, you know, get rid of the anxiety, because I was like, I don't want to keep living my life like this and showing my children like a constant state of, you know, anxiousness, you know, because God tells us to be anxious of nothing, you know, to fear nothing. And so when he was calling out to me, I knew that it would take a great deal of work, and I didn't understand what that work would look like because I had never done it on that level before. And I had gone to therapy before, but it never, at least for me, I'm not saying for everybody, but for me, it never was like something I felt like was helping me overcome. As a matter of fact, most of the time, they were like, wow, you're so strong, and you're really a survivor, and you can survive anything. And I think I was like, but I don't want to just survive. There's got to be more than just surviving, right? Because when you survive, you're not necessarily dealing with the cuts and bruises. You just develop new skill sets to help you deal with it, right? To kind of help you be like, okay, whatever, you know, I'm strong, I'm a survivor. But when you overcome it, it's like, that's not a wound anymore. Like, that may have been something that occurred, but God heals me, God delivers me, God will help me like overcome. God will fully deliver me. It's not just survivor. I have victory in God. And so when he started calling out to me, it was like, okay, like, how are you going to walk me through this? Like, are these things that I'm going to have to like, what all am I going to do? And I was really nervous about that. And, you know, when God really started, when I allowed God to really be in my heart and show me him, not all of him, because I think there's so much to God I don't think we will ever know in our lifetime. But when he started to show me what I needed during that time, I was really just blown away. And he really, like, I thought that I would need, you know, here's the first mason jar. I thought that I would need so many people. You see how simple that is? Super simple. I thought that I would need so many people to rally around me to help me work through, you know, the things in my mind, you know, which is why I had all that fear. Because I was like, how am I going to deal with all of these different things that I know are blocking me? And God was like, you don't need any of those people, you just need me. And that's what he did for me, is he put me in a season of isolation where it was like, no, you're not talking to all these different people. You're not relying on all of these different people. You're going to learn to rely on me. And you're going to learn that I am truly all that you need. And, you know, to an extent, you know, that for my flesh was really difficult, like learning to rely on God, learning to know, like, I don't need to call, you know, my girlfriend or my sister or this person or that person to work through something. Like, I can truly call on God. And in doing that, he has filled me with so much joy and peace and comfort. Like, he has truly been my comforter. And it has been the most amazing thing that I've ever experienced in life, is really getting to know him and getting to know his heart, and knowing that his heart is always for me and never against me, and it's always for my good, to his glory. And I'm just like, I'm so in love with God. He's so awesome. You know, I'm so thankful for him and the things that he's been bringing me through. And when I tell you, even with all of the different things that I have going on in this season of life, or seasons, because it's been several seasons of life this year, like, I really don't feel anxious. Like, he truly has come in and delivered me and replaced anxiety with his joy. Truly. He has given me his joy. He has comforted me. He has given me his peace. And, like, that doesn't mean that things don't still happen. That doesn't mean that, you know, different situations in life are not difficult. But there's something about knowing that the creator of the universe, the creator of it all, is on my side. And knowing that he will never leave me, and knowing that he will never forsake me, and knowing that he uses everything, second jar, knowing that he uses everything for my good and his glory, knowing that he is on my side so that no one is against me, has been absolutely incredible. I am so thankful for not just reconnecting with him, but truly getting to know him on a whole nother level. It has been the most incredible thing in my life, truly. And I am so thankful for him. So now we are gonna go ahead and get ready to make some pancakes. So these are the two dry mixes. You see them there. You see those two big old jars. This will last quite some time. And I'm going to put those away because now I am going to go ahead and make some pancakes for the next few days. And I'm going to put those, now you can, what you will see me do is I'm going to put them in the refrigerator, because the way that I keep them in the containers that I keep them in, they stay very well for the time frame that I know I'm going to have them in there. But if you're going to make your pancakes from your pre-made mix, you can go ahead, like if you go ahead and make it instead of doing like dry shelf, then you could go ahead and make them on your skillet, and then you're going to either want to get like some freezer bags and put parchment paper in between the sections, and then put them in the freezer bag, seal them up and put them in the freezer. Or if you have a vacuum sealer, which I do have a vacuum sealer, you can put them again with the parchment paper in between the stacks and put them in the vacuum sealer to vacuum seal. And so that way you have, hey baby, you have already made pancakes that your kids or your husband or yourself can easily pop into the microwave and be ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the things down so we can actually make some of the pancakes, and you'll see how fluffy and amazing they turn out. I am gonna go ahead and finish making the actual mix to make the pancakes. Y'all, I put the milk in this bowl. I have no idea why I did that instead of putting it in something else, and it's like overflowing. But this is 3 cups of milk. Yay, it didn't spill. Okay, so 3 cups of milk. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. Oh wait, let me make sure it's actually plugged in. Oh my gosh, it's not plugged in. It's not plugged in, y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay. I really make myself laugh sometimes. Okay. So it's on. to my little griddle thing. I'm gonna put it on like 250 or so. Okay, so what I usually like to do is put it in the bowl, and then you make a well, and you pour your wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. As y'all see, I think I was really just trying to make sure I didn't spill the milk everywhere. So I was just trying to hurry up and get it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this together and make sure that I don't have any dry spots. And then it comes together. Now, if you want, you can add, if you want, you can add vanilla extract in, or you can add like a little maple extract in, so it has, you know, more of the maple flavor, like for syrup. I don't tend to use the vanilla extract in my pancakes. I will sometimes do the maple though, and that has like such a wonderful smell and flavor. So in case you don't know, I actually have celiac disease, and so I cannot have anything with gluten. So no wheat, barley, malt, none of that. So the pancakes I'm making right now are not for me to eat. They're going to be for the family, which I'm fine with, because I'm also on like just a full journey of betterment, which includes taking better care of my body. And so if you've watched along some of my posts, you'll see I'm using a 3-step weight loss system called Thrive. I really enjoy it. I've lost well over 20 pounds, and I'm working towards still losing. I do a daily workout, except for on the weekends, but I do a daily workout as well. So I've got eggs here. I've got to be careful because I have this on now and it's heating up, but I've got, hopefully y'all can see them, 3 farm fresh eggs. So what I did was did 3 cups of the mix. So this is 3 cups of the mix, and it's nice and thick, y'all, and it smells so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix together. Look, if you all have all of the fanciful whisk and all of that, definitely use those. I have spoons, so I use what I have, right? Let me turn this down just a little bit. So I use my spoons. And so I use 2 medium eggs and 1 large egg, because some of our chickens lay, like we have Jersey Giants and Rhode Island Reds and a few other breeds, but our Jersey Giant eggs tend to be really large. So yeah. And what I love too, if you have farm fresh eggs, or if you get like eggs from like a local market or anything like that, they are like the prettiest golden color. I love that about our eggs. And I had never experienced eggs like this until we got chickens and they started laying eggs, and it tastes so different. Like, I really enjoy it. And you know, there's something, you got to do what you got to do, right? But I really enjoy having our own eggs. I really do. I love it. Now, cleaning up poo from the chickens isn't always the most fun thing ever, but these eggs, they make up for that. They really do. So I'm gonna finish mixing that together, and then we're gonna get that on the griddle. So I really appreciate you guys spending your time with me and spending your morning or afternoon or whatever time of the day you are with me. And I pray that this is helpful to you on your journey, to let you know that you are not alone. You will never be alone, because God is always with you. But you're also not alone on this journey, because there are other moms like me who are on the same journey for betterment, growing closer to God, putting God first in every aspect of life and what that looks like, and how He can deliver and heal you, and how He can use you exactly where you are, and continue to uplift you from there. So I'm on the God use me as you need to train. And I pray that that's how I stay. So this is what your mix is going to look like after you've got everything together. This thing is nice and hot, so I'm going to make sure I don't burn myself. So, y'all, I am not a professional, just FYI, as I'm sure you can tell. I'm not a professional. I bake because I enjoy it. Growing up, I loved my mom dearly. I always kind of joke, and I'm like, my mom is not a cook. But I really started learning about baking from my older sister when she got married. And then I've learned so much more about cooking and baking since being married. And my husband is a really good cook. And so he's taught me a lot about cooking. And in that, I decided to learn a lot more about baking. And that's something I really love doing. It helps to save our family money, and which is always a huge plus, right? But also, I enjoy making sure that my family has what they need and that they're ingredients that prayerfully aren't so harsh for them that they can enjoy. I'm gonna let this cook. I think I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. I don't want them to burn though. So I'm gonna put up some of my bowls, and you'll see pancake mixes there on the side. Well, what did I do with it? Okay. I've got my container here that I'm gonna put their pancakes in, and these will be pancakes for the next 2 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and let those keep cooking. And if you are baking along with me, this is a pretty fast process. So it seems like it takes a little bit longer with this because I tried. I'm not gonna say I was successful, but I tried to make everything pretty and let everything have its own bowl. Usually when I am baking, that is not what happens. Like, I've got my one big bowl, and it's just, as I'm getting my ingredients, they're dumping in there. So I tried to make everything nice and set up, and I wanted you guys to see the steps of what I do for my family. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit of that maple flavor into the pancakes real quick. Y'all always have to check, because I want to make my own extract. My mother-in-law showed me how to do vanilla extract, so I do plan on doing that. But this is just like a little maple one, so I'm just gonna add in a couple quick drops. And you see that they're all ready to turn. If you guys could smell how amazing, how amazing these pancakes smell. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I'm hoping I'm looking in the right direction, y'all. I bought this camera a few years ago when I first started with my blog. And I've not used it recently, but I started back trying to use it. So I used it for the last vlog that I made, and I always have to remember, because it has like a little thing on the side where it kind of shows you what it looks like. I have to remember that that's not the lens that you look at. Like, look right here. So if you see me doing that, forgive me. I'm getting used to it. Okay. So I've got this flipped. It smells amazing. I put a couple of drops of maple in there. So I don't know if y'all can tell, like, look how thick. Like, these pancakes are so thick. Your kids will love them. If you want to, you can also do it with buttermilk if you have buttermilk on hand. Like, let's say if you make your own butter. You can also make buttermilk, which is super easy to do. You just take some regular milk, and then you add in just a little bit of vinegar to it, to where it equals out to like a little bit less than a cup total. So like your milk plus the vinegar, so more milk than vinegar. And then you let that sit for about 5 minutes, and that's buttermilk. And then you use that. So y'all, look at this I want to drop it. Look at that pancake. It's so pretty. Okay, these are done. So I'm going to go ahead and get these off. So what I usually like to do is I like to stack them like this and put them on in there, and then whew, it's hot. One stack is one day. If that's going to be, if it's a meal just for the kids. So usually my husband doesn't eat pancakes. I usually make something else for him. And so the pancakes end up usually just being like the kids' breakfast. And because these pancakes are so fluffy, because they're so thick, they end up just needing two. So depending on how you pour it out, you know, the age of your kids, etc. My kids are 8, and about to be 5. 2 is really enough. Like 2 pancakes with some fruit, or like with some fruit or with some yogurt, usually is perfectly fine for them. So that's a little bit of about me and the story of how we've come here to Pancakes and Chit-Chat with Tegan. So it's just been intentionally trying to walk in the steps that God says He wants me to walk in. And I pray, I talk to God in His Word, I listen for Him. I listen for Him in everything that I do, and watch for Him in everything that I do. And I'm intentional about paying attention to Him and about bringing things back to Him to make sure that I'm walking in the steps that He has for me. And if He tells me to wait, I wait. If He tells me to give it back to Him, I give it back to Him. If He tells me not now, then not now. And I am still working on all of those things. I am definitely a work in progress. But I am just so thankful for Him and the walk that He has me on and the journey that He has me on. And I am really praying and believing that however He's ordering my steps, that it will be helpful to others and helpful to me and helpful to my family. And my whole thing, and I said this to Him at the beginning of this year, one of the things, and I said a number of them, one of the things that I said to Him was like, you know, God, I know You've been calling to me, you know, of course I repented for being disobedient and not going to Him when He was calling to me, etc. But I told Him, I said, I know You've been wanting, you know, to use me, and I want You to use me, Lord. Like, use me however it is that You want to use me, however it is that You need me to be used. You know, I desire to be a light. Like, I want Your light to shine through me. And I want that light to shine through me for my husband, for my children, for our family, for our extended family, for people I don't know. Like, God, just let me be Your light, and it all be to You. And so I've seen a lot of amazing things happen this year. To God be all the glory, because it definitely has not been me. But I just want to say that God is so good, and He's so intentional. And if you're in a space in motherhood where you are really just trying to, look how pretty they are, trying to figure it out, I would challenge you to let God into that space and let Him help you figure it out. Because we can't figure it all out. As moms, I think we're so good at trying to pour the entire banner on ourselves and say that, like, we can do it all. But God does not need for us to do it all, you know, because otherwise we wouldn't need Him. So when He has for us to do something, He wants to walk alongside us, before us, behind us, beside us, all around us. He wants to be with us in those steps for Him to help us through, for Him to guide us, for Him to be with us. And so if you're in a space in motherhood where maybe you're trying to figure out how to balance it, you're trying to figure out what to do, maybe you're needing more patience, more comfort, reassurance, like whatever it is that you're needing in the space that you're in right now, as a mom, or wanting to become a mom, whatever space it looks like for you, then I would challenge you to invite him into that space. And you can invite God into your space by, one, going to him and talking to him. Like, he loves to hear from us. So going and talking to him in prayer. And look, it doesn't have to be for hours. I will tell you firsthand, I love spending hours with God. Like, one of my challenges is getting up at the time that he appoints me to get up. But man, when I get to go in and talk to God, I am usually in there for hours, and I love it. I love talking to him. I love listening to him. I love being in his word. I love what he shows me. I love how he guides and directs me. But you don't have to be there for hours. As a matter of fact, I talk to him throughout the day. I'm praying constantly throughout the day, and I'm talking to him throughout the day, and I'm listening for him and letting him speak back to me in the way that he needs to speak back to me. But one of the first things to do when you want to invite him into your space is you pray. And you pray and say, well, even if it's just as simple as, God, I need you. Can you show me how I need you? Can you show me where I need you? Can you show me how to talk to you? And he will do that. And one of the best ways for you to kind of learn that as you're learning more about him and his voice is, even if you pray that simple prayer, go ahead and open up your Bible and start somewhere. Some people have different places that they, say to start. For me, God had me start in Genesis. And now God traditionally has me in a lot of different books, in a lot of different places for a lot of different reasons. Not all of them do I know. But, I would say if you start in Genesis, you kind of get to know the beginning. And then as you continue through Genesis, I would implore that you go and read through, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John to get to know Jesus and get to know his Holy Spirit. And, then ask for guidance on where to go next. They have devotionals as well that you could get. I don't have any right now that I could recommend. But if something comes across that does, I would love to share that. Or if anybody has any devotionals that they think would be helpful for someone else, I would love for you to share in the comments if you have something. But pray and read the Bible and let him guide and direct you, and know that he's listening to you, and give him your heart and just say, God, I know I need you, and help me, and let him direct you and let him guide your heart. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up these pancakes, and then I'm going to show you guys the final product. So you see the pancakes, they are nice and golden brown. Let me go ahead and show them. They smell amazing, they look delicious, and we have 2 mason jars of dry mix that's already mixed together for you, which is perfect. I put the instructions there on the label to make it easier for myself to remember, but it's pretty simple. 1 cup mix, 1 cup milk, and 1 egg. So y'all, I'm really excited. So we've got 4 stacks of pancakes with 6 pancakes each. For my kids, 2 pancakes made this way with like a little fruit on the side, or some yogurt, or like a piece of bacon or sausage or something like that, is perfect for breakfast for them, because these are so fluffy that they definitely last. So, and if Heavy wants some, then instead of being 4 days, it'll end up being 3 days. And I did that with 3 cups of the dry mix, and so that was 3 cups dry mix, 3 cups milk, and 3 eggs. And you could have definitely, if you want to, where they're not going to be as fluffy, you can thin your mix down by putting in like more milk basically, and it'll kind of thin it out a little bit more. And that same 3 cups dry mix would have gone further with more milk. It just would have been a thinner pancake. And so my kids love pancakes, and they will love these. I did add maple into the rest of the stacks. There's 1 stack that doesn't have maple, the others do have maple. so they will enjoy those. And then I'm going to put these in the pantry, so this will last over the next 4 days. I can put this in the fridge, or if I want to take a stack or two out and freeze it for another time, I can do that. Or if I want to freeze the whole thing, I can do that. So it just kind of depends. These will go very quickly. They're not going to last. they're going to go within 4 days or less. Somebody may say, I want pancakes for dinner. So you just never know. But it's a nice, simple recipe, easy to have on hand. You have, I call them make-ahead mixes. You have the make-ahead mix ready to go. You can definitely make more. So these 2 jars were the 6 cups of flour with the other dry mixes together in it, are these 2 mason jars. So I have so enjoyed talking with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it for the first ever Pancakes and Chit-Chat with Tegan. I'm really excited about, you know, where all God may have this go, where God may lead me. I just want to be obedient to what He says, and I truly just want to follow what He tells me to do. I don't know where this will lead or where it won't lead, if this is just something He wants me to do, to walk in obedience or what, but I want to be obedient to Him, and I want to serve Him, and I want to help other people. I want to help, you know, others, but right now I feel with this, it's led to help other women who are moms or becoming moms or want to be moms, other wives or becoming wives, whatever that walk looks like for you right now. I feel led in that way, and so that's what I definitely want to do. And I pray that this is helpful to you guys. I pray that you all enjoy it. I would love your feedback. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, or if there's something that you would like to hear about, definitely let me know. I do have something else that I'm working on as well, that I plan on doing, I think on Wednesdays, where I will actually share, and it won't be recipes and things like that. It will really just be sharing from the Word of God, and so from the Word of God, from the Bible, and what He lays on my heart to share. So I do have that coming up as well, so I'm really excited about that. Also, I would love to learn more about you guys. So when you guys leave those comments and that feedback or questions, whatever, I would love to learn more about you. So if you want to share like where you are, you know, and I'm in the U.S., so if you want to share where you are in the U.S. or where you are in the world, you know, if you feel led to share about, you know, your family, if you're a mom or a wife or whatever it is that you feel led to share, I would love to hear from you guys and learn more about y'all as we learn about each other and are on this walk together with Christ. So again, thank y'all so much for coming on this journey with me. It's really a journey for just being a better me as a daughter of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, as a wife, as a mom, as so many things, just on a journey for betterment. And I pray that that journey never ends. And I pray that one day when I meet our Lord and Savior in heaven, I pray that He tells me, well done, my good and faithful servant. So I'm going to try not to cry. But I really want to walk in the purpose that He has for my life, in every area of my life. So I really hope that this has been a blessing to you guys, and you guys enjoy it, and it's beneficial to you in some way. So I really hope y'all have a blessed and fabulous day, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye. We did it, Lauren.